Hello guys and welcome to Draco Ray Gaming. I'm Draco and today we're going to be talking about Warzone streaming settings. So if you want to stream Warzone, that's a whole nother ballgame. If you want to play it, we've covered that in Warzone Fixed. Check that video out. But now that we got the game working, we need to know how to stream it properly. So I wanted to just share my setup and hopefully it'll help you guys. I'm using Streamlabs OBS and we're going to go through my live setup actually right now and see if it helps you guys. I'm going to show you the tips, tricks, and settings and secrets. Let's do it. Okay, we're here. All right, so you can see I have the game running. I've upped a few things and I'm running around 120, 130 FPS, which is great. I would like, before we go through some of these game settings, to cover the Streamlabs OBS settings, okay? Here we are. Here's my crazy setup. Gear icon, bottom left corner, stream. So I'm actually recording a video with it right now live. So let me show you what I have going on for these settings. So first off, I've tried everything, okay? Let me tell you, I have made a list. I have process of eliminated everything. I think these settings are the most likely to be successful for you. And it doesn't really matter, if you have a good CPU, it doesn't really matter if you use the NVEC new encoder versus the X264 CPU encoder. I haven't seen it hit frames a whole lot. I've done a lot of testing on it and I didn't see it affect it at all, not minuscule, maybe a frames. Like, you can't really tell the difference. So I would say, depending on your system, if you have a really good CPU, you can use the 264 encoding, but I personally prefer, especially if you have an RTX series graphics card, go with the NVEC NVIDIA encoder NVEC new, go for that. It works really well for me. It's on totally separate hardware. If you actually look at the architecture online, it's totally separate hardware. It does not affect your gaming performance at all whatsoever. At least the new version. It is separate hardware, separate from the CUDA cores, dedicated on your NVIDIA card, so that it does not affect your game performance or gameplay or FPS. So I haven't seen it make a difference through my testing. I use CBR as recommended for the control rate, and I'm going with a 4,000 bit rate. I really like in between 3,000 and 6,000, depending on what you're doing. If you've watched any of my other videos, I do a 720p stream on a 1080p frame and I upscale it, and it saves me a lot of resources when I'm encoding. I'll show you what I'm talking about though. So bitrate 4,000, keyframe interval 2, preset quality is on presets quality, profile on high. I'm using my main GPU, one single GPU, single PC setup for me, max B frames 2. Now, if we actually go to my video layout, I'm on a base canvas of 1920 by 1080, 720 output scaled resolution, right, to my stream. So I'm actually doing 1080 and then outputting it at 720, and it looks really, really good. So I'm using this 32 sample sharpen scaling, the Landscope downscale filter, and then I'm only pushing 30 frames, but I am doing 2B frames, which makes a difference. It makes a really smooth 30 frame stream. Okay, 60 frames is a lot to push. So is 1080 and so is 4K. It's a lot to push on a single PC system. And the double graphics cards doesn't, when you're using one for encoding the other, doesn't really get you that much of a performance boost at all because of the way OBS uses the software. We'll do that in another video. But for now, this is my Warzone streaming settings that I'm using. I've had great success. No skipped frames, no dropped frames, no packet, no lost lost frames or anything like that. So NVEC new, CBR, 4,000 on the bitrate, 2, quality high, GPU 0, max 2B frames. 1080 base resolution, output to 720 at 32 sharpened. Okay, so it's a nice, crisp 720 stream when you're streaming it out, and it looks like 1080, but people can actually stream it easier. They can stream it on their phones, they can stream it where their wireless signal's not the greatest. You can get some more participation in your streams. Okay, those are my settings in Streamlabs OBS for streaming Warzone. Now let's go through some of the settings in here. I've covered this in a few of my other videos, but I want to cover them with you again. I am on keyboard and mouse, I am on PC, and these things matter. My general, let's go over general. I do a 120 field of view. As you can see here, it gives you a bigger, broader area of the screen. I do not like how zoomed in Warzone is, especially on the consoles. I would highly recommend a 120 field of view. You will get used to it. You will like it. I guarantee it. ADS is independent. Brightness is at 50. It's pretty good there, man. Brightness is fine on this game. Heads up, bound, hunter. Skip it. Movie introduction. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I hate the movie introduction. Let's get rid of that. Subtitles, no. Colorblind, no. That's all fine. I do prefer the square. You get more percentage of area in the square cube here of that you can see of the radar. I prefer square radar. Mini map rotation is enabled. I do like it to rotate the way I am facing. I have compass on letters. You may want to actually just use it depends what you want to do. Do you want to just say, so the other option here is numbers, right? So you can do letters or numbers as far as directional text. I like to do the number system so it's more accurate and they know where exactly the enemy is. But you could just do west, north, south, east, depending, and switch this toggle selection around. Text chat's enabled, profanity filter enabled, dismemberment gore effects enabled, so that's all just kind of standard. If we go to graphics, this is what I'm rocking right now as of the latest updates that have come out and the patches. The patches have screwed a few things up, as they usually do. It was stable for quite a while, but you know, a few little hiccups here and there. I'm on a 120 hertz 1440p monitor, so I play in full screen borderless. I would recommend full screen or full screen borderless. You can see that it does make a memory difference going from this or this, and that is because it looks like the resolution is changing in the background. So and this, for me, depending on your monitor, is a little weird. So I have a 1440p monitor, so it's trying to render res up to that amount, but I am playing in it says 720 right now, which is not true. It's because I'm recording. I'm actually doing 1920 by 1080 in game, and then it's trying to upscale it to 1440. I think that's maybe why my video game looks really crisp. Warzone looks really crisp, but you can back this down, I think, to about 66 to really get a true 1080 if you're rocking a 1440p monitor. You really got to pay attention here, because this really decides your memory usage, your VRAM usage, and your performance. So make sure these are matching up to your monitor specifications and performance. Aspect ratio, it's on automatic right now. I haven't had any real difference or changes in that. You may want to set it to exactly what your monitor is if you want. Frame rate limit is another big one. I have a 120 hertz monitor, so I don't want my computer fighting over resources. It's just single PC, single graphics card. I don't want it trying to make extra frames that I don't need. So what I'm doing is I'm capping the frame limit at 130. This will also help your performance and your stream performance. I would highly recommend paying attention to this area on the custom frame rate limit. Do this custom frame rate limit and your render res. These are the secrets right here. Render resolution, frame rate limit, super important for when you're setting up this game for streaming and you want good performance. NVIDIA highlights, restart shaders, all this display gamma, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. Details and textures. I'm rocking normal texture resolution. Filter antiscopic is on very low. You're not able to disable it anymore for some reason. Particle quality is low. Bullet impacts and sprays and tessellation and all that crap, it's all normal. So this is also a new option I've seen, is streaming quality. So I just left it on normal, but you can put it on low to help out with your Warzone VRAM usage. So I'm gonna mess with this setting and let you guys know in the future if I notice any performance difference. As of right now, not too sure on it. I'll do some testing. Shadow map resolution normal. I noticed that I don't notice too much of a frame limit increase or decrease with this game on textures or shadow map resolution like you should. It's really all the other stuff. So you're gonna run this normal high, doesn't really matter. But these are my updated graphic settings I'm running for Warzone right now. Cache spot shadows disabled, sun shadows disabled, particle lighting low, ray tracing disabled, ambient occlusion disabled, screen space reflection SSR disabled, everything else off and disabled. Film grain, weapon blur, motion blur, filmic, depth of field, AA, off. Get rid of all of it. Get rid of all of it. I'm rocking about, what, 3 gigs of RAM out of 8 the VRAM usage for Warzone, a lot less for multiplayer, 2.8 gigs. So these are my settings for streaming Warzone. You can see I'm getting 120, 130 frames per second. And I'm not getting any dropped frames from Streamlabs OBS. I'm having smooth streams. Check out my Twitch channel, Draco Gaming. You can check out my live streams there. Check out some of the Warzone footage if you want here on YouTube. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I really hope these videos have helped you out. And I'm going to continue doing them as long as you guys keep chatting it up and talking and commenting below. And I'll see you guys next time.